Hi Virgo, Sun, Moon, and Rising. This is going to be your general reading for February 2023. Please keep in mind this is a general reading and the messages may not resonate with you. So in which case, I suggest that you check back to your moon and your rising sign. In order to gain any insight into your own situation, because it's general, that requires a personal reading. You can go to my About Box section of my channel. And there you can find the reading packages along with the number of questions and the price. And then you simply email me at the address up in the corner there and say, hey, Tara, I want the 45-minute reading, which is the most popular, by the way. And then we'll go from there. All right. I have with me the Radiant White deck. I have with me the La Vida Sibilas. I also have the Fiend DC Clay. I've only had to use those maybe once or twice so far over the course of the other readings. And then we'll be wrapping the reading up with an Angel Answer card and a Golden Nostradamus, unless the story is something completely different, okay? So I've already done some meditation and shuffling on your sign and glyph. And I had some cards present themselves. I don't know what they are yet, so we're going to see them together. But let me go ahead and turn the camera around. It's such a gray day outside. It's kind of chilly down here. It's kind of funny because in South Texas, it's always so hot. So when it drops into the 50s, like we'd be breaking out coats. It's crazy. So here are the three cards, okay? And the order in which they fell were the Magician. The second card was the, Knight of Pentacles. Okay. And then the third card that fell is the Three of Cups. So not bad, Virgo, for a start. This is our past row. I'm going to go ahead and put one more rifle and shuffle on these cards. And then we'll lay the rest of the spread. Okay. Let's see. So here with the Magician and the Knight of Pentacles, we're looking at the color yellow, which usually deals with mental, mental energy. It helps with activating your intuition. It speaks to clarity of thought. If you associate yellow with sunshine, right? So you can see clearer by the light of the moon. We do know that Mercury went direct a couple of days ago. I think still in the sign of, let me see here. Let me open up my astrology app. And we're going to do, let's click now. Yes, through the sign of Capricorn. Okay, so it went back direct and it was retrograde in Capricorn. Now it's moving forward. Tomorrow will be the new moon in Capricorn, followed by a big planetary move. And if you haven't signed up for my Substack yet, please do, because it just wrote about the planetary shifts and the shift in energy that's going to be coming. So the day after the new moon in Capricorn, Uranus will start moving direct in Taurus. This is the one that I'm watching because Taurus rules the stock markets. It rules property values, banks, your own personal monies, all that you own, earn, or owe. So this is going to be about your rent, your mortgage, your car payment, anything you got, credit cards, stocks, bonds, charities, but also your personal possessions. So clothes, clothes, jewelry, things of that nature. Okay, so this is the big one that I'm watching. And just so happens that this debt ceiling limit vote in Congress is going to be coming up around this time as well. I've already predicted over on Twitter and Mastodon that it's going to be a no-go. So we shall see how that turns out. So Uranus goes direct the day after the new moon in Capricorn on January 22nd. And then we have the first full moon of February. It will be in the sign of Leo. So mark those dates down, okay? And then just kind of let's just sit back and watch to see what happens. So I'm going to split the cards and lay the second row. 7 of Pentacles. That makes sense. 4 of Wands. 8 of Pentacles. 2 of Wands. Knight of Cups. Wow. And the World card. Well, that is quite the reading there, Virgo, Sun, Moon, and Rising. What is the energy over the entire reading? Wow, it is the Six of Pentacles. So, okay, what do I have? I have, in the spread itself, 1, 2, 3 Pentacles, 2 Cups, 2 Wands, 2 Major Arcana cards. If you are new to my channel and my style of reading, welcome. For those of you who've been with me a while, thank you so much for sticking around. Because we have the Magicians, and what I find very interesting about this is that this is the second to the first Major Arcana in the deck. The Fool, number 0, is considered to be the first card, okay? Olden cards in history, the Fool was always at the end, but they've turned it around in the Rider-Waite deck, so the Fool is the first card. This is the second card. But this is the final card in the Major Arcana suite. So it's a beginning and an end. That's, in a sense, how I'm looking at it. Past, present, future interplay of the cards. Your Major Arcana are your spiritual lessons, okay? What is it that you need to do to jump to the next spiritual level in your life, whatever it is you're trying to do? And one Major Arcana card holds more sway than all of these cards together, okay? So I don't have any repeater numbers. I have a 1, a 3, a 4, I'm sorry, a 1, a 2, a 3, a 4, a 7, an 8, 2 11s, and a 21, okay? Now, 2 nights, whenever cards repeat themselves or numbers repeat themselves, is usually important. So normally 2 nights in a reading will speak to the idea that you are doubting the sincerity of a male friend, okay? And sometimes it can be an argument. Well, that would be 3 nights, so that's not correct. So just that you're doubting the word or the sincerity of a male friend, okay? Now, I do have these. One is a Knight of Pentacles. This could represent you as a person, Virgo, Sun, Moon, and Rising. But then I have this Knight of Cups, okay? Which, if it were going to be a person, would be a water sign individual. So we are looking at someone Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces, okay? This could also be 2 different aspects of yourself. But also these can be situations. And so for me, as long as I've been reading cards, the Knights always represent events. And what I mean by that is they represent news and events. And what I mean by representing an event is that the Knights will come in to move a situation along. This is usually through some kind of news, message, or information, right? And therefore, it's an event because it moves the situation along if it's been slow or stagnant. So in the near to distant past, which could be from yesterday to, I don't know, last year, I see the Magician. The Magician is all about the directing of the ego and the will. Okay, it is about having all of the skills, all of the tools that you need to do whatever it is you wish to do. When I say directing the will or directing the ego, it is about as above, so below. When you think things here on the 3rd dimensional plane, you create things, right? And so whatever you create here is reflected back to you above from the astrology. But also, whatever you gain from the astrology, you can direct down into the 3rd dimension. So this is really about being able to come up with new ideas. It could be a new skill, a new job that you are learning. It could be the start of new projects and ideas coming into play. If you are studying, the Magician card comes along to say, you know, continue studying because eventually you're going to get something out of it. What you put in is what you will get out of it. It is a 1 card. Now, I feel for some of you, Virgo, Sun, Moon, and Rising, there is a nodal play in this. As you can see, he's got the number 8 or the infinity symbol over his head. It is a number, you can look at it like a number 8. And we know that the nodes will also be shifting signs here very, very soon. They'll be moving from Taurus, North Node Taurus, South Node Scorpio, into North Node, I want to say it's Aries, South Node in Libra. I think that's right. I'll have to double check it. And typically these are 18-year cycles, okay? So for some of you, this could be the idea that after 18 years, you are going to find yourself in a position where you can create something new. For some of you, I see that you've already been doing this, and we come to the 7. Now, sometimes the 7 of Pentacles can be that idea of working hard, doing a whole lot of work, but not really seeing a whole lot of financial reward for it, or even recognition in some instances. But to me, the 7 of Pentacles is an offer being presented to you, okay? In fact, this pentacle at his feet is the same pentacle that this knight is holding, okay? So then the question becomes, well, I've done all of this in the past. Do I have room on my bush for this little 7th pentacle coming? So it's a 7. 7s represent questioning oneself. It is a moment for you, a time for you to stop and reflect all that has come before you make the move to step out to do something new. So it's not just finances. And we see that this comes with a decision. I can continue to do it the old way, or I can turn around and do it a new way. All right. So 2s represent choices, oppositions, crossroads, dualities, oppositions in the sense that is someone actively opposing me, or will I or won't I? All right. Across the top, we see the creation of something new that actually you can take and move forward with it. Now, the Knight of Pentacles is the slowest knight in the deck. You can tell by looking at that horse. His horse is large, it's lumbering, and it's standing still. So typically what that means is that whatever news or message comes in, it has taken a long time to come in. But usually, traditionally, the card says that, you know, whenever this knight shows up, be glad that he's shown up. In fact, offer him refreshments because he comes with good news. Okay? And indeed, we see here with the 3 of Cups, there's something to celebrate. This is 3 people, you know, maybe this is you and 2 of your girlfriends. Maybe this is you, your mom, and your daughter. But it implies this idea of people getting together to celebrate things. And typically this is a universal kind of celebration. So it could be something like a graduation, a baby shower, a bridal shower. You know, you bought a new home, you just got your degree plan, you just opened your new business, you got that loan. It could be something, it's usually something that's universal. However, because it is a 3, it says typically that there's more than one person perhaps involved. Indeed, we see these 2 court cards here. But also, it says that there may be some suspended events before future successes are realized. Okay? In the center, we have the 4 of Wands. Everything is happening around this 4 of Wands. This is your home base. This is where you live, no matter if it's a home, a condo, an apartment, whether you're sharing it with somebody or not. As you can see, there's a couple there in the center. Okay. And the 4 of Wands is a card that says, again, it is about celebration of things. It is about taking time to stop, rest, and determine what your successes have been and how have they helped you in your life. Okay. It talks about stable foundations. That's what the 4s represent in the tarot. I've seen this card show up when it says that, you know, sometimes relationships, if it's a new relationship or if you've been in a relationship for a while, it is an indication that it can have long-term commitment. That could be any type of relationship. We see the 8 of Pentacles. Now we go from the 7 to the 8. Well, the 7 is asking you to stop and pause before stepping forward. But obviously you step forward. Here we have the 8 of Pentacles. And the 8 of Pentacles is the card of internship. It is a card of repetition. It is about doing the same thing over and over again. It is about learning skills, perfecting your craft. It can be the idea that maybe you're starting over, or you want to start over in your career, but you got to start someplace, so you're down at the bottom rung all over again. You know what I mean? Maybe you change careers. It is an 8. 8 are karmic numbers. They typically represent money. It also says that situations now will begin to move. As you can see, this figure is doing two things. He is literally making money, but he's also crafting his wares. Okay? And so it's also an 8, so somewhat like the 3, it could be an indication that there may be some kind of obstacle, hassle, or delay that may present itself. It's not saying you can't do what you want to do. I've explained to you about the 2 of Wands. Now we come to the Knight of Cups. And again, this is a message. This is something that comes in that you are emotionally attached to, or that evokes some type of emotion. To me, that's only what the cups represent, emotional quotient of something. But this is a fickle message, okay? The news is kind of fickle. It's not a fully fleshed kind of a thing. And the reason why I say that is because the horse is in mid-stride. The water here, the horse has not crossed the stream, okay? And it's a stream, it's a creek. It's not a ocean or lake, or, you know, it's not a large body of water here. So this could be the idea that whatever's behind this message is great. It makes you feel fantastic. It offers lots of possibilities, but it doesn't promise necessarily anything, okay? And so this would be the card that I would be looking at. It finally ends at the World card. Now, again, we're talking about the nodes. And remember, I just said to you that the nodes will be changing signs. They will be going from Taurus, North Node in Taurus, South Node in Scorpio. Now here, the cards, the nodes here are Leo and Aquarius, but they're not, our nodes are not moving through Leo and Aquarius. They're actually moving into Aries and Libra, which are cardinal signs. Okay, Leo and Aquarius are fixed signs. So are Taurus and Scorpio, fixed signs. But what this implies is this idea that whatever cycle that you've been in, perhaps in the past 18 years, is now about to change. You are about to, quote unquote, graduate. Okay. At the moment, everything is okay just the way it is. But again, this is a moment of pause before stepping out into something new and regaining the balance. See the 2 wands that she's holding in her hands? Okay, so there are more messages that this card has to impart for me. Now, the overall energy is the 6 of Pentacles. It is a 6. It is a number of balance. It resonates to the energy of love and harmony. As we can see here, there's a figure in the center. There are 2 figures on the right. So again, there could be this idea of 3 people being involved. All right. One person is getting something. The other person's getting nothing. Well, most of the time, this card, the 6 of Pentacles, will talk about small financial gains. It may be some type of career or work recognition that you receive. Maybe you get a bonus at work, or, you know, a little bump or something like that in your pay, a promotion maybe. But it also says that, you know, someone may show up from your past to help you out, to pay you back for help that you've given them in the past. It can sometimes say that money is going to show up exactly when you need it. If this is you, it can say that maybe you're going to find yourself in a position to help others who've helped you, or help your family, or help your friends, maybe even to donate to charity. There's a balance here weighing up of something. But I've also seen this card show up to ask you to take a look at how you are giving and receiving. Remember, one person's receiving something, the other person's receiving nothing. So let's just kind of take a look here. The idea of a male friend could really be anything or anybody, okay? And it could really be any, what do you call it? Any area of life. It could be romance, it could be friendship, it could be business, it could even be family. So what I'm going to do is turn these 2 cards over, because they traditionally represent people. And what does that leave me? It leaves me the 3 of Cups, 7 of Pentacles, 4 of Wands, 8 of Pentacles, and the 2 of Wands as they relate to these 2 cards. Now, I explained to you about the Cups, the emotional quotient. The Pentacles can be about finance and work, but it's also about the doing of something. The Wands represent your passion, your desire, your focus. You know, what gets you hyped up, what gets you up in the morning, all right? And so that's how those cards play out to me. So here's what I'm going to do. We're going to start with the 3 of Cups. tells me nothing being next to these two cards. But the card tells of abundance, joy, hopes, dreams, and happy conclusions. It indicates that something positive is on its way into your life, and you may also receive some good news at this time. Celebrations, special occasions, parties, gatherings are indicated when this card appears, and there are blessings, good times, and much happiness to be had by all. Well, that's great. Let's move over to the Eight of Pentacles. The number of money. Let's see. I only have 2 pentacles. Okay. Oh, this is the 8. I'm sorry, I'm looking at the 7. Hold on one second. Okay, nothing with these 2 cards. The card says, if you are anxious over a delay or postponement, well, it tells you do not be overly anxious if a delay or postponement takes place in regards to some type of financial negotiations. All is going to plan, so use this time constructively and plan your next move. It asks that you be patient. It is a time of solitude and asking questions of the inner self. It implies that there is a focus on limited successes. Plan your next move carefully, and you should have a welcome change to your financial position. It typically represents a change or change in direction. Is a card which indicates material securities and options for a new course to take. Decisions to do with choice or choices is apparent. So it is important to weigh up all options. The choice being whether to remain in the position you are currently in or step forward towards the new. I dare say some of you will be stepping forward towards the new. I don't know if you've got like a home office or you're starting a home business. That could be the case. The 8 of Pentacles here tells me nothing. Sometimes, as I say, this denotes a person who has worked in a particular field, but who decides to change direction career-wise in an effort to make a fresh new start. It is looked upon as a midlife crisis type of a situation, but I don't agree with midlife crisis kind of a thing. I just think sometimes we change because we have a spiritual need to. It's not, midlife crisis implies that, you know, you're chucking everything out the window because nothing makes you happy. That's the 8 of Cups, not the 8 of Coins. That's all that card says. I skipped over the 4 of Wands, did I not? Let's take a look at the 4 of Wands here. I think what I find interesting is that there are no swords. The Hermit, the 4 of Wands with the Magician. Tells of exciting, original ideas, concepts, and projects. But also, here with the World card, it invokes a very powerful vibration. It tells of the possibility and opportunity to become involved in an important, large-scale operation, organization, or project. With the Magician, again, it tells of exciting originality, new ideas, projects, and goals. Well, it indicates a time or rewards for efforts and hard work done in the past. It is the right time to celebrate concrete results. However, this is only a stage on the journey, and some challenges are still to be faced and overcome before the final goal is attained. Well, you know, that's not bad. The 2 of Wands. This is interesting. The 2 of Wands is a focus on relationships with others. The card can sometimes indicate a need for independence and solitude. We see that. Maybe working alone. It says you may feel the need for separation in order to feel in control of your own destiny. Therefore, the card asks you to assert your independence and not allow others to deny you this freedom. You should not allow yourself to be drawn into something against your will. Show strength or you may regret it. It may be indicating a business venture or partnership which has security, but there is still a need to look beyond that. It tells of achievement in business and career success. In regards to business and finances, if you were to cleverly yet fairly negotiate, the outcome will be favorable. It tells of boldness, courage, and embarking on a new enterprise. Now, I'm talking about messages here, okay? So this card indicates that a letter or message will provide you with the answer to an important question concerning a contract or transition. That's all it says. That's that. Let me take a look here at the Six of Pentacles to see if the Six of Pentacles, its overall energy here. The card suggests support or charity from a benevolent friend. It also suggests an opportunity for material rewards to be shared with others. It is a symbol that faith in one's personal capabilities is regained and renewed. An opportunity for promotion or advancement could present itself to you, which will bring you long-term financial gain. It applies that assistance will come when it is most needed. It may manifest as a sudden win or windfall, or finances becoming available at the most appropriate time. So, I mean, this really looks to me like an opportunity for you to move forward with some type of creative project or endeavor. And it doesn't matter really what that is. It's just whatever it is that you've been working on or you've been dreaming of, because it says that your hopes, dreams, and plans for the future are right on track. That's what this card says. So then we have to determine what this message is about. But before we do, thank God that's got a lid on it. I want to take a look at the World card, because it's telling me something else. We are at the end of the journey with the World card. And it talks about the end of a cycle and a new phase of life. It indicates the successful completion of a project or the happy conclusion of a phase in your life. It can sometimes indicate travel and movement, either a journey to be made or a vacation to be had, or even a change of residence. It indicates good vibrations, and this is a good time to make changes concerning both work and home aspects. You are now free to accept new responsibilities, and there will be triumph in all undertakings. Well, I don't know about that, but that sounds great to me. It indicates that you are free to choose your own path. The world speaks of success with the assurance of honest achievement and successful conclusions. It may be signifying a job very well done, and you are to be commended. It is within your personal power to make important decisions for yourself and to make important decisions for yourself and others. You are reliable and trustworthy, and all that you undertake will prove fruitful. Wow, that is not a bad reading. But here's the question, and I'm just going to pull a few Sibilas on this card, because we see the Four of Wands sandwiched between these two knights. And again, as I say, typically two knights represent the idea of doubting the word of or sincerity of a male friend. Okay. And because it's such a tentative message, let's just see what it may mean. There's the friend, loyalty, trust in a person or an idea or philosophy or belief. But here we find the desperate jealousy. So something's going on here. Now, there's something else I'm going to tell you about this card. So one second. And there is the Lamante male lover. Isn't that interesting? Well, this card can sometimes show up when it talks about somebody who might have perhaps a substance abuse problem. At least whatever it is that they're talking about, or whatever ideas or plans that they have, can sometimes be castles built in the sky. It's never anything concrete, really. You know what I mean? And so having the desperate jealousy fall between these two cards, to me, it's quite interesting. So let's take a look at the desperate jealousy. Now, if this is a real love relationship, if it's based upon that, then it could talk about, in love, somebody being extremely jealous of whatever you got going on. So you want to be careful about that. Okay. But also the, hold on, the desperate jealousy can be speaking of, what number is it? That's a 3, I believe. Is that a 3 or an 8? As long as I be reading these cards, I can never figure it out. Hold on one second. No, that is the widower, the Vedevo. So he is the 8. Now, the card typically represents depression, dejection, apathy, and a lack of enthusiasm for the future. When delineating someone's outlook, this card describes someone who has given up and does not want to fight anymore. It represents someone who may feel that they have nothing to live for. The card can indicate not seeing beyond the present moment, or even being stuck in the past, unable to resolve some problem without finding the necessary inner resources to pull through. It is also a card that indicates all forms of self-harm, feelings of shame, guilt, and deep regret. It heralds tears and deep worry and many hours spent crying. It also points to substance abuse. This card can also warn of a toxic environment and people around you being toxic. You may feel as though everyone around you is nice and the environment is okay, but invariably this turns out to be wrong, revealing that those nice people have been and are deeply envious and scheming behind your back to cause you ruin. It indicates treachery, slander, gossip, and envy. It is a card that warns of danger and a danger that comes from your circle of acquaintances. Now, financially, it indicates heavy losses that could very well lead you to suicide. It indicates heavy debt, insolvency, and overspending, as well as trouble with the law and, listen, a cutthroat work environment. Sometimes the card can indicate a judgment made against you in criminal proceedings, but that's not what that's saying to me. The card warns that you may be about to trust someone who could lead you to your ruin. Now, the Lamante is typically the lover, a younger male, someone who is willing to help you, would be a water sign, but in fact, he is, in effect, another Knight of Cups. He would be a Page or Knight of Cups. And if this is not the case about this being an actual person, okay, then this talks about being highly emotional about something, as though someone is waiting on something. As you can see, he's there with his little mandolin, I suppose it is, and the window is open, but there's nobody there. There's a door. There's nobody in the door. So this could be all of the emotions associated with waiting for something. So I'm not quite sure exactly what this message is about. It could be saying that, while this is a great person to trust, if your intuition is telling you that, maybe they might not be able to come through, or whatever it is that they're telling you or promising you might be kind of pie in the sky, go with that. All right. So let's formulate a question for the angel answer cards. Other than that, you got the message that you were able to make your own decisions, that you can step out on your own if you need to. Again, I would say that it just appears to me that the timing is right for you to make whatever move it is you've been wanting to make. Okay? And not allow someone else to get you off track, no matter what's going on, what they're saying, what they're doing, All right, so here we go. Here's your card for the angel answer. The card says forgiveness. Isn't that something? Okay. And then, I'll tell you, sometimes the cards are like, wow. All right, so now formulate your question for the Golden Nostradamus. Oh, it just threw itself out. So let's see what it says. Number 11, the book. What do we know about books? We know that books contain things, right? Knowledge, skills, information. But we also know that sometimes books can remain closed to us. In the literal sense, but also in the sense that they contain things that we don't understand. Okay? So, we'll start with forgiveness. Don't know my alphabet because this book is alphabetized. Forgiveness can work miracles. When you release the past, a weight is lifted from your shoulders and a sense of freedom washes over you. Ask your angels to help you let go of any sadness or pain caused by others so that you can be free. But this card can also refer to a need for self-forgiveness. It is time to let go of any guilt you are holding on to regarding past mistakes you may have made. Give yourself credit for having tried your best, even if the results weren't what you would have liked. And then focus on the changes that you've made since then that have made you a better person or the situation better. I think that's always good advice. Okay. Number 11, the book. As long as the fool in silence remains, people may think he has half a brain. Ask advice of someone who knows more than you, experts, or people you know who love you. This is a roadmap. It is a roadmap and personal advice provided from someone we should seek out. It is a roadmap and personal advice provided from someone we should seek out. Well, here's what I always say. Talk to people. If you're trying to do something new, talk to those people who've already done it. Since I'm not going to be able to do my classes anymore on the website because they've gotten rid of the courses portion in order for me to do the classes, I'm going to put my book together and I'm going to try to self-publish it. And so I'm going to be meeting with my friend Tim this weekend, who has already published a book himself, self-published it. And he's going to introduce me to a publisher. And I'm going to have the guy go over my things to see, what may need to be done. And then I'm going to publish my book. And so that's what I'm working on. That's what I'm trying to do. Thank you, Bella Dutch, for telling me that. That's pretty much it. So talk to people, and that's something that I learned from my colleague Jessica Adams. When you're trying to do something new, talk to people who've already gone through it and hear what they have to say. Learn some of the lessons that they've learned, and then take that to heart. That is a roadmap, all right? And so until next time, be well, stay safe, and namaste. Bye.